China's government says it's cracking down on the illegal expansion of its coal and steel industries and investing in wind and solar to combat pollution. So why are emissions from that country on the rise then? And if the government is so environmentally conscientious, why are 1.36 million people per year dying in China from breathing in toxic pollutants? The smog in Beijing is still atrocious, even after the country promised to get rid of it in 2008 for the Summer Olympics. This is real pollution, and we all agree it needs to be cleaned up. Actually, our Prime Minister has a chance to address this crisis when he meets with Chinese politicians to discuss free trade and climate change. He says a strong relationship with China means a better Canada. So are we really to believe Trudeau is going to affect any real change in China on the environmental front? He did once say he admired the country's basic dictatorship for being able to turn its economy around by going green and investing in solar. But is the country really going green? Not only is China the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases on the planet, but they're also the largest contributor to a recent increase in global GHGs. And about this crackdown on the expansion of the coal and steel sectors, it turns out governments across the country just turn a blind eye to it because it greases their palms and results in local jobs and economic growth. And yeah, China did invest heavily in the solar industry. In other words, it's manufacturing the solar panels and doing so cheaply. In fact, they're even putting US solar companies out of business because they can't compete, even with the hefty tariffs President Trump implemented on the Chinese product. And while China may produce panels, actual solar power in the country is wasted because it fails to reach the grid due to inadequate connections. So much for targeting pollution. When you scratch the surface, China only seems to care about pollution when the country is in the spotlight and it wants to avoid embarrassment. For the Olympic Games I mentioned earlier, the government moved factories out of the city and took 2 million cars off the road for the event. But by 2013, the air in Beijing was deemed safe less than 40% of the days that year. Meanwhile, North Americans bend over backwards to implement expensive green strategies to combat pollution. And even though we do it, it will never negate China's emissions, which are almost double Canada and the US's combined, and counting. So despite what Trudeau says, a strong relationship with China really means that country keeps getting a free pass on pollution. For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter so you never miss the other side of the story that you just won't find anywhere else.